I want to thank Myrna Sislen, the owner of Middle C Music in Washington, D.C., for joining us. And I guess what I first want to ask you is, before we get into how your business is doing, what were the guidelines you had to follow? I think it's different from most of us are in, a state by state situation. So how is it different where you are, and when did they tell you had to close, and how do you know what's the decision going to be made upon when you can reopen your store?
Well, we were closed. Okay. We were closed on March 17th, and we are non-essential, according to the mayor. And that means only workers can come into the store to work on things that will maintain the business. In other words, payroll, right. Those sorts of things. Now, we are allowed to mail. We are allowed to deliver. We have been, and those rules are the same. I asked last week, I actually sent an email to my council member and said, you know something, everything is music. If you go on Facebook, everybody is making music. This is keeping people sane. I understand that it may not be, you don't die if you don't have it. You could go crazy if you don't have it, which is what my customers are expressing to me, that they are going crazy because they do not have a string, a reed, a bow, a instrument. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But I think the importance of the ability to make music at this time is much greater than I would have imagined. Is there some way that we could conduct contact-less business? And she said, I understand, I will speak to the mayor on Friday. The word that I got from that was, thanks, but no thanks. Rules are the same. You are still non-essential, and the same rules apply. Now, we have been skirting a little bit in that if someone really wants something, they buy it from us, they pay by credit card, and we leave it outside the store and they do a drive-by and pick it up. I would like to be more legal about it. I also have a mat outside the front door, and for a set of strings, I will say, you know what, I got this mat. It's kind of crinkly and it's a little bit thick, and I don't think anybody's going to see if I put your set of strings underneath the mat and you just come by and pick them up. So I can do that for strings. I can do that for picks. I haven't actually had to do it for a book yet. It has been a challenge, but that's what our rules are, and ours haven't changed. Essentially, we're closed. People cannot come in the store, and we are not supposed to have people outside that we're selling to.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I do understand what you're saying. It's an essential business to a lot of people, so it's very difficult. And how has it affected you personally as a business? You've had a great business for all these years now, and you said it's much harder for you. It's a challenge. So is it, did you have to make staffing changes? What sort of things do you have to do to get by during this time?
Well, of course, the staff is much reduced. I don't want anybody putting themselves in any kind of harm or in any danger in coming here, so that anyone who has to rely on public transportation, I don't want them coming in. We are working from home. We use TeamViewer, which is brilliant, and that enables mostly everybody to work from home. We've had a skeleton crew of 4. Each one has a job, and so far we have been doing okay. Fortunately, I did get a PPP loan, and so I have 7 people now. I just got it, and this is the first payroll that will reflect that. So everybody is now getting paid. I have 7 people who are getting paid. Each one has a job. But Brian, I have to tell you, there was like a brilliant thing that happened yesterday that I think is going to solve a problem, and I would love to share it because I'm glad you asked. And so I'm going to tell you what it was. And it just proves that things that happen outside of our particular business can relate to our business. And here is what it is. There is a game and puzzle store on Capitol Hill that someone sent me a link to, and they said, we can't sell anything to you, and we understand what's happening, but here's what you can do. You can buy from us, and we will leave it at Mr. Henry's, which is a restaurant. And I thought, well, I thought Mr. Henry's was a bar. I didn't even know they were open. And then, and believe me, I wish I could take total credit for stealing this idea and doing it all myself. I would love to do that, but I can't. One of my staff members then said, wait a minute, why can't we do that and partner with a local restaurant here that is doing carryout? So then yesterday I called it's called the Main Streets, our Tenley Main Street. I think there are main streets all over the country, and that's organizations that are done by the city to try to promote business. And I presented the idea to her, and she said, oh my God, this is the best idea I ever heard. I know which restaurant you should use, and it's called Soul Spice. And it's a Korean restaurant. You make up your own bowl. I eat there a lot. It's really very good. They have purple rice. Anyway, I contacted the owner, and well, she did initially, and he said, I love this idea, absolutely. And I spoke with him. He's actually a member of he's a percussionist with the National Symphony. Oh. And which, isn't this interesting? I think we are so interesting. Here you have a guy who's got, I mean, it can't be that easy to get a good gig as a percussionist. And he says to himself, you know what? Let me find something else to do. I don't know, something harder. Let me open a restaurant. And I think it's kind of what we do. I think we just choose. Anyway, that's a totally different thing. So here's what is happening. You buy the item from me, and I can tell this is totally legal. I tell my people and my customers, yes, whatever you want. And we've actually set up a virtual store so you can walk around within the store, buy anything you like. And the pickup is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 2 to 4 at Soul Spice. And that way, and it's like a half a block away. It's very, very close. There's parking in front, and that gets my people into his restaurant and gives them the opportunity to get whatever they want. And we don't have to, come by and wear a mask. Well, everyone's wearing a mask anyway, but don't identify yourself and I'll throw it out to you. I mean, this is a very good solution. And other people who are in my same situation throughout the country can do this exact same thing, is partnering and then drop the items at specific times. They know when it's going to be there and they can pick them up.
Wow, that's a great idea. Thanks for sharing that. I think that could be great for other retailers listening to this. So yeah, I mean, in fact, I think it could really help, not only you, but it could help the restaurant a lot. I was thinking when I go out, whenever I go out, and in New York, it's just one of the worst areas by far. So if not the worst.
Yeah.
I make sure when I make a trip that I'm going to get everything I need. I mean, there are very few trips. Each trip is valuable. So if I'm going to get that instrument or the strings or whatever the product would be, I'm going to want food from that restaurant too, because I'm just like, takes up a meal. I kind of think about each meal and how I'm going to fill each meal. So it's the thinking now, unfortunately. So I would just be like, okay, I'm going to pick up food while I'm there. I mean, why not? It makes too much sense. I'm sure it's working that way, right? I imagine.
Well, as I said, this started yesterday. So today is our first day, and absolutely, if you go into that restaurant, of course you're going to get food there. He also is selling toilet paper in addition to Korean food, and he's selling vegetables, and he's selling eggs. This guy scored Clorox wipes. And I said to him yesterday, how did you get your Clorox wipes? Well, he knows a guy who knows a guy, whatever. So it's a kind of bodega and a Korean restaurant at the same time. So there's other things that you can get. But yes, having this partnership, and he loved that. He's going to put it on his website. I'm going to put it on my website. So they really see from each other. So it's a brilliant idea that I stole, and anybody's welcome to take it from me. Take it and run with it.
Okay. Well, thank you. I hope they do when they listen. I really hope they do because that is a fantastic idea. So yeah, and he got Clark's wife. So that's even better. Something that's impossible to find. I can tell
I
you.
know.
You know well, I'm sure. Okay, so I mean, I guess lastly, I guess I've asked this of some others, but um, what is your feeling? I mean, we are starting to see some areas of the country have already opened. I believe already 20 states. So I mean, we haven't really made any progression. I think we're flattening the curve, of course, but there hasn't been any treatment or vaccine that's going to say, hey, things are going to be great. But, businesses are starting to open. They don't want the economy to be completely ruined, and people are starting to get cabin fever, of course. I mean, the weather is going to start to get nicer here at some point, stop raining eventually. So it's going to be harder and harder to keep people out. So are, with that, all that said, I mean, are you, optimistic in the future, thinking that, music is, a tremendous thing people want to do at home and outdoors, and that we can get out of this?
Yes, I mean, I am, but as with everything in our industry where something shifts, we have to shift with it.
Hmm.
We have gone to online lessons, of course. I think mostly everybody has done that. If you haven't done it, my God, do it. And the surprise with that for me is how successful it's been and how little pushback from the people who have experienced it. I've been able to keep every one of my teachers. I would say 80% of the students are still taking lessons. They're enjoying it. Parents are getting involved. I am signing up new people. We are having recitals. Our recitals will be on Zoom. They will be, of course, virtual. We will try to keep it as normal as possible. And I think that's a great idea. We have the Middle C Music Teacher Feature Song of the Day, and our teachers play. They put their little donate at the bottom so people can donate to them. It was also suggested by the Main Streets that we have a concert series that we've partnered with the church, do it virtually. And then also, again, partner with a restaurant. I think we can keep going. We are going to be shifting. Do I think that there are going to be lessons in Middle C music anytime soon? No, I do not. I can't imagine that the teachers are going to think that until there is a treatment or a vaccine. I think we can continue. I think that can we thrive? I don't know. Can we survive? Yes. Yes, I think we can. We need to use the technologies that are there that actually everybody else is using. I mean, we're not making up anything. Everybody is doing pretty much the same thing. I would love it to be able to rent instruments again. I'm not renting instruments because no one can come in. I'm not taking instruments back for returns yet. Haven't figured that one out to keep it safe. But as far as being able to help people, yes. What will happen when the store does, when they do let us open, we will limit the number of people. Everyone will wear a mask. There will be social distancing. Until there is a treatment or a vaccine, I trust nothing. But I think we can keep going. I think we can be creative, as we all are and have always been, and be able to help people and to be able to help our communities and to keep people sane by making music. So yeah, I'm optimistic. Surprisingly, I didn't think it would work this well, but the teachers are liking it. They say that the kids and the adults concentrate more on online lesson because they're not there to help them. They have to do it on their own. And so it seems to be working. The only pushback have been the people who didn't want to try it. And for whatever reason, I think it's nuts, but whatever. And from those people, but that's my feeling. Will we do camps in the summer? I don't think so. I don't think any parent is going to want a kid to come in. I'm not sure if I can get my teachers to come in, and I don't know what we're going to do about the camps. But I think we can continue on and not have to close. And that's the important thing.
Yeah, that's definitely good, and no doubt, and I'm glad you're optimistic. But well, let's hope we can move past it. First, we have to stay safe, and I hope to see you at live events, because that's the only way we've been getting you on the cover of the Music and Sound Retailer lately. So yeah, I got to see you at live events to get that going.
Listen, I look forward to that. Thank you very much. No, I'm in total agreement with it. I'm certainly ready. And yes, it's interesting that the bar has gone to the place where if you wake up in the morning and you're breathing, that's a very good day. And so,
yeah, you're absolutely right. I don't like to drag it down, but I know I've said it to somebody that every day I wake up, it's a blessing. I mean, wake up healthy, it's a blessing.
Yeah, able to breathe. Thank you. Okay, we're good for today.
It really is true. That's, you got to think of it that way. Everything else is secondary right now. So yeah, it's true. Well, I mean, I thank you. I will miss not seeing you at the NAMM Fly-In. I know that's a great event that you're always at, and I am too. So that's a shame, but nothing we can do. But thank you. I really appreciate your help, and that idea you gave that I hope retailers can take advantage of. So
I'm so happy. This is just, it's easy and it's brilliant, and you help everyone. And it's nice to not have to skirt the rules. It's nice to be able to be open about saying, here is what you can do, and we can do this for you, and we're going to do it now. And you go right over to Soul Spice and pick it up there and get yourself a bowl of food as well.
Yeah, the Korean food sounds pretty good too. If I were there, I would definitely take advantage of that.
It's excellent. I actually have been there many, many times. It's really quite good. They have purple rice. I like that.
Okay. Great. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. And
anytime, Brian.
stay safe.
You too.